no puede beber demasiado.
Too late. I wanted you to say it, she doesn't have that same.
I didn't want to embarrass myself.
Your Honor, is the interpreter still needed for any other cases?
Is that our last one? Yes, thank you very much, Madam Interpreter.
Thank you, Your Honor. The interpreter will disconnect.
Morning, sir. Your name, please?
Elder Domo.
Sir, you're here for initial appearance. You've been arrested for lewd lascivious behavior, exhibition, victim less than 16 years old. I'll appoint the public defender to represent you. State you have a position on bond.
Your Honor, we'd just be asking for the higher end of the bond schedule on this charge.
Defense?
Your Honor, we would just make a request for the lowest permissible bond.
All right, I'm going to set the bond. It looks he's got a couple of cases, at least incompetency stuff still active. So I'm going to set the bond at $2,500. Order you not to return to the scene. Have no contact with any minors under the age of 18. Good luck, sir.
So you release me today, brother? No. Release me today, brother?
If you post the bond today, yes. Morning, sir. Your name, please?
Larry Leo Jr.
Sir, you're here for initial appearance. You've been arrested for a trespass after warning. I'll appoint the public defender. Bond is set at $500. I'm going to order you not to return to the property at City View Apartments on West Church Street, downtown Orlando. All right. Good luck.
Your Honor, if I may, there was an offer extended. I did speak generally with Mr. Odoms about pleading, and I think he does understand that, but he didn't get a chance to hear the offer. I'm sure Madam State will correct me if I'm wrong, but it should be an adjudication of guilt, 8 days, court costs, fines, fees, and as the judge already said, no return to City View. Did you want to take that offer?
Yeah.
As I told the court judge, I did speak with Mr. Odoms generally about pleading and obviously giving up his right to contest witnesses or go to trial. Based on that and based on this interaction, I think he would. I think he understands, and we would like to go forward.
All right, Mr. Odoms, you heard your attorney. Do you agree with that?
Sir,
You agree with what he said?
what do you think?
What he said is the offer is an adjudication of guilt, 8 days in the county jail, credit for the 1 day that you've already served, be ordered not to return to the property, and there's court costs. I'll give you time to get those paid. That would resolve this charge without a trial.
All right, sir.
Is that what you want to do? Okay. All right, then how do you plead to that trespass after warning?
I guess, yeah.
I'll accept that. Adjudicate you guilty, 8 days in the county jail, credit for 1 day, time served, give you 350 days, get the cost paid, and I'm going to order that you not return to 595 West Church Street. That's City View Apartments. Understand if you go back and they see you, you're just going to be back in jail. So don't return there, okay? Got 30 days to appeal. Any appeal must be in writing. Good luck, sir. Good morning, sir. Your name, please?
Andres Rivera Ayala.
All right, sir, you're here for initial appearance. The according to the affidavit for the application for the public defender, if that number is correct, 1,400 every 2 weeks is your take-home
Yeah, after taxes.
after taxes, okay. Based on that, with no dependents, you make too much to qualify for the public defender. So at this time, I'm not gonna appoint the public defender. You've been arrested for false imprisonment and battery, both domestic related. State, you wish to be heard, regards to bond?
Yes, Your Honor. There's a prior conviction for the same charge. We would be asking for the upper end of the bond schedule as well as a no contact with the victim and separate residences.
Okay. In reviewing the charging affidavit, it's quite aggravating. I'm concerned about the victim's safety. I'm gonna set the false imprisonment, count one, I'm gonna set that bond at $5,000. Count two, the battery I'll set at $1,000. I am gonna order that you have no contact with the victim. Maintain a separate residence. I believe that you were already living separately, but you're to maintain a separate residence, absolutely no contact. I'm gonna order that you you consume no alcohol or illegal drugs, you possess no weapons or firearms.
No, sir.
Okay.
Can we get a 24-hour surrender? I believe there was a firearm.
If you still have a firearm, I'm gonna order that that be surrendered within 24 hours of your release. I don't know if the firearm was taken into evidence or not. All right. Good luck. Good morning, sir. Your name, please?
Edward Angela.
Sir, you're here for initial appearance. You've been arrested pursuant to a warrant for sale and delivery of methamphetamine and possession of methamphetamine. I'm going to appoint the public defender. Bonds have been set, $7,500 on count one and $1,000 on count two. All right, good luck.
His last name? Yeah, okay.
Can't hear the names of the defendants?
His charge?
Okay. Good morning, sir. Your name, please?
Johnny Brown.
All right, Mr. Brown, you're here for initial appearance in case 22 CF 11722 AO. You've been arrested for petty theft with 2 prior convictions. Going to appoint the public defender to represent you. Bond set at $1,000. In addition, I'm going to order that you not return to the Hugo Boss outlet store.
Yes, sir.
All right, good luck.
That's it.
That's it.
Let it go.
Good morning, ma'am. Your name, please?
Shanna Santiago.
Ms. Santiago, you're here for initial appearance. Case 19 CT 6331 AO. You've been arrested for violation of probation. You were on probation for a DUI. Allegations are that you failed to report back in April and May of 2020, and that you're in arrears on cost of supervision. Judge set the bond at none. Also been arrested for providing false identification to law enforcement. That bond set at $500. I'll appoint the public defender in both cases to represent you. All right, good luck, ma'am.
Stephanie?
Morning, ma'am. Your name, please?
Stephanie Espile.
Ma'am, you're here for initial appearance. Case 22 CF 11733, AO, you've been arrested for child abuse. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you. State, you have a position on bond.
Just within the schedule, Your Honor, and we'd also be asking for no alcohol consumption.
Okay, defense.
One moment, please, Judge. Your Honor, based on my conversation with my client, we would request that the bond be set no higher than 1,000, just based on what you could possibly pay, and obviously any other additional additions that the court felt necessary, we'd have no objections to.
All right, ma'am, I'm going to set the, I notice there's no prior history. I'm going to set the bond at $1,500. I'm going to order that you have no contact with the victim or actually, there's two listed victims. Tamia Davis and Brianna Davis, that you maintain a separate residence from them. If they're still living at that Millennia Boulevard address, you're going to have to live somewhere else while this matter's pending. You can return one time with law enforcement to get your personal belongings. Don't go back there alone. You're not to have contact with the kids at this point. I'm also going to order that you comply with any orders of the Department of Children and Families, and that you consume no alcohol or illegal drugs, possess no weapons. Okay? Good luck, ma'am. Morning, sir. Your name, please?
Chevron Bailey.
Mr. Bailey, you're here for initial appearance. You've been arrested in a couple of matters. I'm going to appoint the public defender in both cases to represent you. First, you've been arrested for aggravated battery on a pregnant person. State, you have a position on bond.
Just within the schedule, Your Honor, and we would be asking for no contact with the victim.
Defense?
Your Honor, just based on my conversation with my client, if the court's willing, you'd respectfully request a bond of no higher than $1,500 total, just because based on his funds, that's all he can afford.
After reviewing the affidavit, I'll set the bond at $1,500. I am going to order that you have no contact with Latrice Perry, maintain a separate residence from her. Looks like your addresses are different, so, but if you had a shared residence, you can return one time with law enforcement escorting you, otherwise no contact with her. Okay, you were also arrested for failing to appear in a felony drug case. Looks like you had a status hearing on September the 2nd that you missed, and the judge set the bond in that case at none. Good luck.
Your Honor, the next case to be called was Ray Blair. He refused, but he has a victim that showed.
Okay. Come on in, ma'am. All right, let's place her under oath.
Please raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give should be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Please state your name for the record.
Kristen Elizabeth Bell.
All right, ma'am. Ms. Bell, I see you're listed as the victim. If, it looks like Mr. Blair has refused to come to court this morning.
He's detoxing.
Detoxing, yes, and I see he's also got drug cases pending. If, and the state's gonna make some notes to provide, because what's gonna happen is he's gonna be reset for tomorrow, see where he is tomorrow. I'll go ahead and I'll appoint the public defender to represent him in this case, but the state should probably make some notes. If he's, because when he's ultimately seen by the judge, you may or may not be able to come at that point, okay? So while you're here, we make use of and get your feelings on certain things. So if he's released, do you want to have contact with him, or do you want him to stay away from you?
I want him to come back home.
You want him to come back home. Are you in fear of him? Okay. Is the issue drugs? Yes. Okay, I see you nodding your head, yes. Okay. State, do you have any questions for Ms. Bell?
No, Your Honor, you covered it.
Okay. Does the defense have any questions?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
All right. All right.
Is there any way he can get a bond that we can afford?
Well, I'm not going to set a bond right now because he's not here. So this will be reset tomorrow. I don't know if he'll be out of detox. I don't know. So, and if he's not out tomorrow, then he'll probably reset the next day. All right. So, all right. So the state made notes, and so in the event you're not able to come back tomorrow for court, then they'll have those notes to make the court know. Okay?
I don't wish to press any charges.
Okay. Well, that's something you'd have to talk to the state attorney's office about. They're the ones that bring the charges. So, okay. All right.
I've taken notes. Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Morning, sir. Your name, please.
Morning, Your Honor. My name is Ricky Crum.
All right, Mr. Crum, you're here for initial appearance. You've been arrested for battery by strangulation. Okay. It's a domestic related offense. In your application for the appointment of the public defender, you indicated that your take-home was $1,000 a week?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, Your Honor.
If that's the case, you make too much money to qualify for the public defender? State, do you have a position on bond?
Yes, Your Honor. The statements by the victim in this affidavit are very disturbing, and I would be asking for the maximum bond on this charge.
All right, I've reviewed the affidavit. I'm going to set the bond at $5,000. I'm going to order that you have no contact with Adacia Chambers, that you maintain a separate residence from her. Okay. So if she's residing at that Riverwood Circle address, you're going to have to live somewhere else. You can, if it's a shared residence and she's living there, you can return there one time with law enforcement escorting you to get your personal belongings. You're not to go back there alone. You're not to have contact with her. Okay. You're not to possess weapons or firearms, consume alcohol or illegal drugs. All right. Good luck. Morning, sir. Your name, please?
Ronnie Reynolds. Good morning.
Mr. Reynolds, you're here for initial appearance, several matters today. I'm going to appoint the public defender in all cases. First, you've been arrested for a battery. It's domestic related. It's pursuant to a warrant. It's 22 MM 5492. State, do you have a position on bond in that case?
I just have that it was listed at none. So I don't have anything further than that.
Okay.
So
Well,
I'll leave it at the court's discretion.
He's entitled to a bond on that case. And defense, do you have a position on bond?
Your Honor, we would ask for the lowest permissible bond on that charge.
Okay. This is 22 MM 5492, battery. I reviewed the affidavit. I'll set the bond in that case at $500. I'm going to order that you have no contact with the victim, Ms. Perkins. Appears that you already live separately. No contact means no contact whatsoever. You possess no weapons or firearms, consume no alcohol or illegal drugs. You were also arrested in 22 MO 1130. It's a city ordinance violation, open container. That bond set at $250. You were also arrested in 22 MM 6836, 2 counts of providing false ID to law enforcement. Bond set at $500 on count 1, $100 on count 2. And then you were arrested in 22 CF 10806 pursuant to a warrant for attempted burglary of an occupied structure and aggravated stalking, credible threat. All right. State, you have a position on bond in that case?
Is that the same victim?
Yes.
Yes, Your Honor. We would be asking for the upper end of the bond schedule on that.
Defense?
Your Honor, we would just request the lowest permissible bond.
I reviewed the affidavit in that case. On count 1, the attempted burglary, I'll set that bond at $1,000. On the aggravated stalking, I'm gonna set the bond at $5,000. Again, I'm gonna order absolutely no contact with Ms. Perkins. You're ordered not to return to her residence, not to possess any weapons or firearms. And when I say no contact, that means no direct, no indirect. That means not through a third person, no trying to contact her in any manner whatsoever. That if you violate the court's order, understand that you can be held on no bond. And you probably would if you contacted her, okay? All right, no weapons or firearms.
And Your Honor, I apologize. I don't know if the court said if we could do a one-time return with law enforcement.
No, they haven't been living together. No, he can't return.
Understood, Judge.
Yeah, no drugs, alcohol, no weapons or firearms. Morning, sir. Your name, please?
Gregory Tyrone Richardson, sir.
Mr. Richardson, you're here for initial appearance. Got a couple of cases. Okay, you were, looks like four cases. I'm going to appoint the public defender in all cases. Looks like 3 of the 4 are violations of violations of probation. So we'll address the new law offense first. That's 22 CF 11736. You were arrested for tampering with a witness to hinder communication to law enforcement. 2 counts of battery. It's domestic related. Let's swear in the witness.
Please raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give should be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes,
Please state your name for the record.
Diana Lowry.
Okay. All right, Ms. Lowry, I see you're listed as the victim, ma'am. If Mr. Richardson is released in this matter, do you want to have contact with him, or do you want him to stay away from you?
Yes, he actually needs to come home. We need him home, especially his father being in hospice. He's only been diagnosed with a few days to live.
We have our son that's born blind and autistic. He's not, it was my fault. He's not at fault. We need him to come home.
State, do you have any questions for Ms. Lowry?
Just briefly, yes. Has
Yes.
anything like this ever happened in the past?
No, I was actually intoxicated. It was once I sobered up and my daughter came and told me how I was acting. I actually did not recall what happened that night correctly. My husband has never been this type of man.
No further questions from the state.
Does the defense have any questions?
Are you in fear at all of Mr. Richardson?
I'm sorry?
Are you in fear at all of Mr.
No, no.
I have no other questions.
Okay. All right. State, do you have a position on bond?
Just a reasonable bond, Your Honor.
Okay. Defense? Does he have a hold, I believe a 5-day hold?
He does for VFOC.
Your Honor, we would just request the lowest possible monetary amount on those charges.
All right, so on the new law offense, the tampering with a witness to hinder communication, I'll set that bond at 1,000. I'll set the 2 battery counts at 500 each. I'll order no hostile contact with Diana Lowry. And is Brianna Jones present today?
Yes, she's here.
Okay, could I have her come up, please?
Sure.
Your Honor, I just wanted to throw out there, my understanding is that Ms. Lowry might have some paperwork. Just want to let her know that if she wants, she can provide it to the Office of the Public Defender there at the courthouse.
Okay.
Okay. All right, let's place her under oath.
Raise your right hand, please. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give should be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, ma'am.
Please state your name for the record.
Brianna Jones.
All right, ma'am, if, okay, so you listed as Brianna Jones. All right, Miss Jones, I see you're listed as victim 2 in the case. If Mr. Richardson's released, do you want to have contact with him, or do you want him to stay away from you?
Yes, I want my dad to come back.
You want your dad to come back? Okay. All right. State, do you have any questions?
Are you in fear at all of your dad?
No, not
And has anything like this ever happened before?
never.
No further questions from the state.
Vince, do you have any questions?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. All right. Thank you. All right. I'll set the bond. Count 1 will be 1,000. Count 2 and 3 will be 500 each. Now, the other 3 offenses, we have our arrest for on-view violations of probation. Okay. Is it 2 or 3? I've got 3. Well, hold on, there may be. Yeah, that's, okay. No, yes, it's a duplicate. Okay, so it's 2. So we've got a on-view violation of probation. And he was on probation out of Orange County for, looks like robbery. Looks like a 1 robbery case. State, what's your position on the on-view violation?
I have 1 on-view VOP, and we would just be asking for a reasonable bond.
We've got 1 Orange County on-view violation and 1 Volusia County on-view violation. So on the Volusia County, I'm gonna ROR them on that.
Okay.
But what's your position on a bond on Orange County?
The state would just ask for a reasonable bond.
Okay. I'll set bond at $1,000 in that case. Now, here's the reality, is you've got a 5-day hold for them to make a determination if they're gonna file a violation or not. I don't know if they are or they aren't. So, and the judge handling that case is gonna make a decision as far as what to do. So, I've set bonds. I'm gonna order no hostile contact, possess no weapons or firearms. I'm gonna order no alcohol. Okay? And that's that. Okay? All right, good luck. Thank you, ma'am. Good luck. Come on up. Good morning. Your name, please?
What's that?
What's your name, please?
Isaac Burke.
Mr. Burke, you're here for initial appearance. You've been arrested for battery. It's domestic related. I'll appoint the public defender to represent you. Is there somebody here on the Isaac Burke matter?
Yes, sir.
Please raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give should be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Please state your name for the record.
Pamela Markham.
All right, Ms. Markham, I see you're listed as the victim, also the defendant's mother. If he's given a bond and able to post a bond to be released, or just be released, are you in fear of him?
No, sir.
Do you want to have contact with him?
Yes, I would prefer him to come home, please.
State, do you have any questions for Ms. Markham?
If something like this were to happen again, would you be able to call 911?
Oh, yes. Yes, ma'am.
No further questions from the state.
Defense?
If the court did put a monetary bond amount, is that something that you would be paying?
Me?
Yes.
Well, yes, because he's not working.
Okay. No further questions.
Okay. All right, state any objection to pretrial release?
No, Your Honor.
Defense?
No, Your Honor.
All right, I'll release you on pretrial release with the condition you have no hostile contact with your mother, that you not consume any alcohol or illegal drugs. All right, so he'll be processed and released today.
All right, thank you, sir.
Thank you for being here.
Good morning, ma'am. Your name, please?
Eunice Crawford.
Ms. Crawford, you're here for initial appearance. You've been arrested for a battery. It's domestic related. I'll appoint the public defender to represent you. State, you have a position on bond?
There's no listed history. We would just be asking for a reasonable bond.
Okay. You have any objection to pretrial release?
No, Your Honor, we would prefer it.
Okay. Defense?
No objection to pretrial, Judge, pretrial release.
All right, Ms. Crawford, I'll release you on pretrial release with conditions that you not consume any alcohol or illegal drugs, but I am going to order you have no contact with your sister,
Okay.
okay, the victim. All right, good luck.
Thank you.
That way.
PTR. What does D and Q mean?
Does not qualify.
Okay, well, that makes sense now that you say it out loud. Duh. I was thinking Dairy Queen.
Be good too.
Yeah, you can come on up.
I'm a little hungry.
Good morning, sir. Your name, please?
Tyrone Grimsley.
Ms. Grimsley, you're here for initial appearance. You've been arrested for battery. It's domestic related. Okay. right, based on the application for the public defender, if this is correct, it indicates that you make 21, your take-home is 2,100 every 2 weeks?
No, I told her 1,800 every 2 weeks.
1,800 every 2 weeks.
Before, because I'm on child support.
Gotcha. Okay. I'll appoint the public defender. You've been arrested for a battery. It's domestic related. All right. State, do you have a position? Oh, I'm sorry. Snuck in.
Please raise your right hand.
Witness, please.
Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give should be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Please state your name for the record.
Samantha Jenkins.
All right, Ms. Jenkins, I see you're listed as the victim, ma'am. If Mr. Grimsley is released in this matter, do you want to have contact with him, or do you want him to stay away from you?
Stay away from me.
Stay away from you. Okay. All right, State, do you have any questions for Ms. Jenkins?
Ms. Jenkins, do you two reside at the same residence?
Yes, and we work at the same place, but on different shifts.
Okay, and do you have any children in common?
Yeah. No.
No? Okay, are you afraid of Mr. Grimsley?
No, but my children are.
Okay, no further questions from the state.
Does the defense have any questions for Ms. Jenkins?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. State, what's your position on bond?
This individual does not qualify for PTR, so we'd be asking for the upper end of the bond schedule and just that the victim's wishes be honored.
Okay. Defense?
Your Honor, just based on the fact that Mr. Grimsley is going to have to find another place to stay, should the court release him on a monetary amount that he could make, and based on what he has told me that as far as money that he has, we'd request that the bond be no higher than $1,000.
I'll set the bond at $1,000. Mr. Grimsley, I'm going to order that you have no contact with Samantha Jenkins, that you live at a separate residence from her. You can return to the shared residence one time with law enforcement escorting you to get your personal belongings. Don't go back there alone. Don't have contact with her. Order that you not possess any weapons or firearms, and that you not consume any alcohol or illegal drugs. Okay. All right. Thank you, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. You have a question?
Yes. Also,
You're going to have to speak up just a little bit, or speak a little more in the microphone.
sorry.
That's okay.
I do ask that he go seek counseling.
Okay, that's going to be, that's not something I can order at this point. But that's something you can express your concerns to the state attorney's office. They're the ones that make the, you've got input with them as far as filing the charges and possible resolution.
Okay.
Our office will be in contact with you, and you can let them know when they reach out.
Okay.
Thank you for being here today.
Morning, ma'am. Your name, please?
Celeste Lee.
Ms. Lee, you're here for initial appearance in 22 MM 6833. Been arrested for a battery. Okay. According to your application for the appointment of the public defender, indicate that is your take-home, is that correct, that number correct, $17.40 every 2 weeks? Okay. If that's your take-home pay with no dependents, you make too much money to qualify at this point for the public defender. So I'm not going to appoint the public defender at this point. State, do you have a position on bond?
This individual has no history from this state and a very limited criminal history from out of state. We'd just be asking for a reasonable bond within the schedule.
Okay. She qualifies for pretrial release. Do you object to that?
No, even better. Thank you.
Okay. All right, ma'am. I'll release you on pretrial release, so you won't have to post a monetary bond.
Am I able to leave the state?
Okay, well, I'm going to go through all that. Okay. So at this point, I'll release you on pretrial release. Given the lack of history, I don't have an objection to you traveling. I am going to order that you have no contact with James Box, that you maintain a separate residence from him, You can return to that shared address, the apartment at Esplanade Circle, the Esplanade Apartments. You can return there one time with law enforcement to get your personal belongings. Don't go back there alone, and don't have contact with him. I'll allow travel, but now that's part of pretrial releases. You have to keep in contact with them. Okay? But I'll allow travel.
Thank you.
Okay? Good luck, ma'am.
Your Honor, some of my pages say they don't qualify for PTR when they do, so if they do qualify, the state has no objection to PTR.
Okay. Thank you. All right. Good morning, ma'am. Your name, please?
Kayla Robles.
Ms. Robles, it's Kayla Robles Colon?
That's right.
Okay. Ma'am, you're here for initial appearance. You've been arrested for a battery. It's domestic related. I'll appoint the public defender to represent you. We've got a witness. We swear in the witness, please.
Raise your right hand, please. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Please state your name for the record.
Juan Alvarado.
All right, sir, I see you're listed as the victim in the case. If Ms. Robles is released in this matter, do you want to have contact with her, or do you want her to stay away from you?
I would like to have contact with her.
Are you in fear of her?
No.
Okay. All right. State, do you have any questions?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. Does the defense have any questions?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. All right. Thank you, sir. State what's your position on bond?
Does this defendant qualify for PTR?
Their fingerprints haven't cleared,
Okay.
so.
Just a reasonable bond within the schedule, Your Honor.
Your Honor, we would request a $500 bond.
I'll set bond at $500 or pretrial release if she qualifies. They're just waiting for fingerprints to come through.
She will qualify once her fingerprints.
Yeah, so as long as your fingerprints come through okay, then you'll qualify for pretrial release. So it's pretrial or $500 with the condition you have no hostile contact with Mr. Alvarado. All right, good luck. Thank you, sir. Morning, sir. Your name, please?
Stephen Towns.
Mr. Towns, you're here for initial appearance. You've been arrested for a battery. It's domestic related. I'll appoint the public defender to represent you. All right. I've reviewed the affidavit. There's really nothing there.
I'll agree with the court, Judge.
Yeah. So, is the state asking for additional time?
Your Honor, I would ask that you allow him to either be released on PTR or give us extra time. I don't think it's fair to hold him based off this affidavit.
Okay. Mr. Towns, I'm going to ROR you on the matter. I don't find probable cause based on the affidavit.
Yes, sir.
Okay? Now, but just here's a caveat to that. So you're going to be released. That doesn't mean that the state may not ultimately charge the case.
Yes,
I don't know what they're going to do. Okay, but I don't want you to be. I want you to be aware of that. Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Good morning, ma'am. Your name, please?
Julie Savalaz.
You said Julitza Velez Rivera?
Yes.
Okay. Ma'am, you're here for initial appearance. You've been arrested for a battery. It's domestic related. I'll appoint the public defender to represent you. Let's swear in the witness.
Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give should be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, Your Honor.
Please state your name for the record.
Evan Richards?
All right, Mr. Richards, I see you're listed as the victim. If Ms. Velez Rivera is released, do you want to have contact with her, or do
Yes,
you want
Your
her to
Honor.
stay away from you?
This case is not accurate. There was no assault.
All right. So do you want to have contact with her?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Are you in fear of her?
No, Your Honor.
State, do you have any questions for Mr. Richards?
No further questions, Your Honor.
Does the defense have any questions?
No, Your Honor.
All right, ma'am, I'm going to release you on pretrial release with the condition you have no hostile contact with Mr. Richards. Okay? All right. So she'll be released without having to post monetary bond, just to have no hostile contact with you, okay? All right. Good luck. Thank you, ma'am. All right, good morning, sir. Your name, please?
David Wright.
Mr. Wright, you're here for initial appearance. You've been arrested for offensive battery. Okay. I'll appoint the public defender to represent you in this matter. State, you have a position on bond?
This individual qualifies for PTR, so we would be asking for PTR.
Okay. Okay. Defense?
Your Honor, we'd have nothing to add to that.
All right, I'll release you on pretrial release, Mr. Wright, with the condition that you have no contact with the victim, that you maintain a separate residence. You can return to that shared residence on Ashby Circle once, but you have to be escorted by law enforcement to get your personal belongings. You're not to go back there alone. You're not to have contact with her. You're not to consume any alcohol or illegal drugs. Okay?
Sign there.
Morning, sir. Your name, please?
Jonathan Baggett.
Mr. Baggett, you're here for initial appearance. You've been arrested for burglary of a dwelling with an assault or battery therein with a firearm and criminal mischief. And it doesn't appear that there's a narrative attached.
Your Honor, the affidavit that I have is three sentences. We would be asking for 24 hours to supplement the report.
And it appears that if the number that you put on your application for the appointment of the public defender, it says 2,300 every 2 weeks, that's your take-home?
I believe so, sir.
Okay, yeah, then, based on that, you make too much for the public defender at this point, so I'm not going to appoint the public defender. Today's an initial appearance. So today, I just tell you what you're charged with, and we determine a bond amount if you're entitled to a bond. The first charge, you're not entitled to a bond, but they didn't include, for some reason, we don't have the full report. There's another page or 2 or 3, I don't know. But that was not attached, so the state's asked for 24 hours. I'll grant them 24 hours. So you're going to be reset to tomorrow, and you'll come back and you'll see the judge again tomorrow. And we'll see if the state's got the affidavit at that point. Okay?
Understand?
I understand.
Okay.
I just want, I mean, I work
Well,
tomorrow.
before you say anything.
Yes, sir.
Okay. This is the initial appearance, it's not the trial, so don't say anything about the facts and circumstances. Okay. If you have work tomorrow, you're not making work tomorrow. That's not gonna happen. Okay? Good morning, sir. Your name, please, or it's good afternoon.
Mr. George, good morning, everyone. My name is Jose Francisco Bautista Acosta.
Sir, you're here for initial appearance. Okay. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you. You've been arrested for aggravated assault with a deadly weapon and petty theft. The bond is going to be set at $2,500 on count 1 and $250 on count 2. I'm going to order that you not return to the 7-Eleven on South Orange Blossom Trail. Did you have no contact with any victims, witnesses, or employees of that business? Did you possess no weapons or firearms, including machetes? All right, good luck.
I only protect, sir.
Don't get into it.
Understand today's not a trial. We're not going to get into that today.
Your Honor, Melissa Billman refused.
Okay, so we'll reset Ms. Billman. Morning, sir. Your name, please?
Roy Darian Bracy.
All right, Mr. Bracy, you're here for initial appearance. You were arrested for felony battery. I'll appoint the public defender. All right, it looks like he qualifies for pretrial release. State have an objection to that?
No objection, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Bracy, I'll release you on pretrial release with the condition that you don't have any contact with Joe Lee Jones.
Yes, sir.
No contact.
Yes, sir.
Your Honor, if I may,
Yes.
obviously, we're not fighting the fact that he's going to get a release on pretrial, but I did want to point out, I don't believe there's PC for a felony battery in this case.
I had a note. I didn't see what made it a felony. I don't know what in it makes it a felony. I don't know if they're alleging the amount of injury, but it doesn't really,
I looked up the statute. I believe that the strangulation is what they were, but that was for domestic violence.
yeah.
So,
I'll find probable cause for simple battery, a misdemeanor, and I'll still release you on pretrial release with that condition. You have no contact with the victim.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Your Honor, Eric Buckner refused.
We'll reset Buckner to tomorrow.
Good afternoon, Your Honor.
Good afternoon. Your name, please?
My name is Ricardo Chang.
Thank you, Mr. Chang. You're here for initial appearance. You were arrested for possession of methamphetamine with intent to sell or deliver, 1 count of resisting an officer without violence, and 1 count of possession of drug paraphernalia.
Yes, Your Honor.
And the bonds, I'm going to appoint the public defender.
Okay.
Bond set at $15,000 on count 1, $500 each on counts 2 and 3.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, good luck.
Thank you. So, Your Honor, I have a bond then, right?
Yes, yes, you do.
15,000 plus 100 and 100.
It's 15,500 and 500. So the total is 16,000.
16,000 total?
Yes. Good morning, sir. Your name, please? Mr. Edlin, you're here for initial appearance. You've been arrested for possession of methamphetamine. Going to appoint the public defender. Bond set at $1,000. All right, good luck.
Your Honor, Wayne Elliston refused.
All right, Mr. Elliston, I'll appoint the public defender, and I'll stay the bond at $1,000. Order no, return to the target. Morning, sir. Your name, please?
Terrell Gordon.
Golding, you're here for initial appearance on a couple of matters. Okay, you've been arrested for fleeing or attempting to elude. Also been arrested for driving with a suspended license with knowledge and possession of less than 20 grams of cannabis. I'll appoint the public defender to represent you in this matter. I'm gonna set the bond at $1,000 on count one, or on the fleeing. Yeah, 1,000 on the fleeing, 500 on the driving with suspended license. I'll ROR you on the possession of less than 20 grams of cannabis, and I'll take no action on the out on bond.
Okay.
Morning, sir. Your name, please?
Nicole
I'm sorry, you got the mask on. Ms. Hartman, you're here for initial appearance. Going to appoint the public defender to represent you. You were arrested for possession of methamphetamine. Bond set at $1,000. Okay, good luck.
Your Honor, Hakeem Holloway refused.
On Mr. Holloway, I'm going to appoint the public defender.
Something I said? Nothing, really.
Yeah, we'll reset Mr. Holloway to tomorrow. Good morning, sir. Your name, please?
Howard Jones, sir.
Mr. Jones, you're here for initial appearance. Got several cases today. Okay, out of county. Okay. So you got it. I'm going to appoint the public defender in all cases.
Yes, sir.
You were arrested on this new law offense, possession of a firearm or ammunition by a convicted felon, and possession of a concealed weapon or firearm by a convicted felon.
Sir, did you say or did you say both, sir?
Sir, could you ask that again?
Sir, I said, did you say or did you say both? I couldn't hear you, so.
Or.
Okay, yes, sir.
Firearm or ammunition, concealed weapon or firearm. Okay. So those two cases, bond set at $5,000 each. You were arrested on 3 separate violations of, they're called on-view violations of probation. And it appears that you were on probation out of Seminole County for robbery and a burglary and a fleeing or attempting to elude along with a firearm charge. So on the Seminole County, I'm gonna and there'll be a hold on you. So I'm gonna hold you on no bond on those, and I've appointed the public defender in all cases.
Yes, sir.
All right. Good luck.
Thank you.
Morning. Your name, sir?
Michelle Joseph.
Mr. Joseph, you're here for initial appearance. You were arrested pursuant to a capias. You missed court status hearing last month on a firearm charge. I'll appoint the public defender. The bond set at none. Good luck.
Your Honor, Kenon Douglas refused.
All right. All right, on that case, I'll appoint the public defender, and I'll stay the bonds. It's $15,000 on count 1, $15,000 on count 2, $1,000 on count 3, with the condition no drugs or alcohol. Morning, your name, please?
Adina Lee.
Ms. Lee, you're here for initial appearance. You've been arrested for driving with a suspended license. Okay. I'll appoint the public defender. I'll release you on pretrial release. with the condition that you not drive without a valid license. Okay? All right, good luck.
Your Honor, Grady Little was having behavioral problems this morning, so he's not here.
Okay. On Mr. Little, I'll appoint the public defender, and I'll stay the bonds at $1,500 on each count with an order of not to return to the scene, the Wendy's on West Colonial. No weapons or firearms. Good morning. Your name, please? Ms. Mercado, you're here for initial appearance. Okay, I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you. You've been arrested pursuant to a warrant for trafficking in a controlled substance, and looks like possession with intent to sell or deliver, that being Xanax. The warrants, excuse me, the bond. Let me look at this. Okay, this is actually related to the case that you're already out on bond on.
And we did close that first appearance detainer, Your Honor, because it is the same incident.
Yeah, okay. I just saw the date on it. Looked like-
Yeah, it's the same incident.
So on the count one, the trafficking, the bond set at $100,000. Count two, bond is set at $5,000, and I've appointed the public defender to represent you. Okay, good luck. Morning, your name, please?
Tyler Nyblack.
You're here for initial appearance. You've been arrested for criminal mischief greater than $1,000. I'll appoint the public defender to represent you. Bond, actually, state have an objection to pretrial release?
No objection to PTR, Your Honor.
All right, I'll release you on pretrial release
Okay, thank you.
with the condition that you, all right, this appears to be, let's see here. Okay. So the victim did not live there. Okay. All right, I'm going to order that you have no contact with your mother, Tammy Nyblack, while this matter is pending. Okay?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right, good luck. Good afternoon, sir. Your name, please?
Santiago Alonso Perez Lopez.
Mr. Perez Lopez, you're here for initial appearance. You were arrested for grand theft, motor vehicle. That bond is set at $2,500. Arrest for aggravated battery with a weapon. That bond set at $5,000. I'm going to order that you have no contact with the victim, that you possess no weapons or firearms.
Yes, sir.
I'll appoint the public defender. Morning, your name, please?
Yaziel Rodriguez.
Mr. Rodriguez, you're here for initial appearance. You're arrested for a warrant, charge of fleeing or attempting to elude. VRC? Video conference, this one? Says busy. Okay.
speaker on.
All right, good morning. This is Judge Duckworth. Who do I have on the line?
Good morning, Your Honor. This is Mary Abraham on behalf of Mr. Rodriguez.
All right, Mr. Rodriguez is here for initial appearance. He's been arrested for fleeing or attempting to elude. Okay.
Does it have a probable cause argument on the affidavit?
You have a probable cause affidavit? Probable cause challenge?
Yes, Judge.
Okay, and go ahead.
If the probable cause issue at point is the identification of my client, there's nothing in the four corners of the affidavit that identifies that that would have been my client. There was no ID taken. There was no name given. There was nothing to identify that that would have been my client. I see that the officer put that there was a David photo or David identification, but there's nothing showing that would have given his name to identify him in the David system. The only logical aspect I could see is that he ran the plates of the car and that the sister or the mom is the owner of the vehicle.
Okay, State, do you wish to respond to that?
Because this is a warrant, I just have the warrant face sheet.
Yeah.
I'll leave it at the court's discretion.
Well, the, a judge has already made a determination that there was probable cause. So, at this point, I'm not gonna revisit that. I'll deny the probable cause challenge. He does qualify for pretrial release. Do you have an objection to pretrial release, counsel?
No objection to pretrial release, Judge, but in lieu of pretrial release, would there be a different option?
Monetary bond.
A $500 bond?
Does the state object to a $500 bond?
No objection.
Okay, all right. So it'll be a $500 bond or pretrial release. And that's the only condition.
Thank you, Your Honor. I'll
Okay.
relay the information to the family.
Okay.
That is all I have. Be excused.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you very much. Have a nice day.
You as well. Thank you so much.
Okay. All right. Good luck, sir.
Your Honor, Carlos Arce has bonded.
Arce bonded, thank you.
Arce bonded.
Morning, sir. Your name, please?
Dave Burke.
Mr. Burke, you're here for initial appearance. Let's see. All right, you were arrested for driving with a suspended license with knowledge. And based on the application for the public defender, it appears you make too much money to qualify for the public defender. Is that number correct? 1,600 every 2 weeks?
Yes, sir.
Okay. That you make too much to qualify for the public defender at this point. So on the new charge, the bond is $500. Now, what I'm more concerned with is the other driving with license. You've got 2 driving with license suspended charges that you're currently out on bond on. So state what's your position on he's out on bond on twice for the same charge.
The state's asking that the bond on the existing Willis driving while license suspended charges be revoked and he be set at none so that he can go before the judge on those cases.
Okay. All right, and okay. In 2022 CT 4, if I'm saying, look, it's 4202. I'm going to revoke that bond and set that bond at none. In 2022 CT 5509, I'm going to revoke that bond I'll set a new bond at $1,000. 22 CT 5510, I'm gonna revoke that bond, set a new bond at $1,000. So the one case you've got no bond on, it looks like you've got court set coming up this week. Okay? So you need to talk to whoever your attorney is, if you have an attorney. Or when you go back to court, you may be able to talk to the judge, and that judge can determine whether or not to give you a bond back. All right? Good luck.
Your Honor, Gallardo Christian has bonded.
Okay, thank you. Morning, or good afternoon. Your name, please?
Santiago Ramirez.
Mr. Ramirez, you're here for initial appearance. You've been arrested for DUI. And you qualify for pretrial release. I'll release you on pretrial release. I'll appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent you.
Any conditions with the PTR, Your Honor?
Do not consume any alcohol or illegal drugs.
You're getting out today.
Right.
Your Honor, Redding Allen has bonded.
Reading bonded, thank you. Good afternoon, sir. Your name, please?
David Earl.
Also had a Julio Cesar Vilches.
Do you have the booking number for them, Your Honor?
It's 2202-3664.
They bonded.
Bonded, thank you. Okay, Mr. Earl, you're here for initial appearance. Okay. Your application for the appointment of the public defender, you wrote down your take-home weekly is $670 a week?
Yes, sir.
That's after taxes and everything, that's your take-home?
Yes, sir.
Okay, based on that, you make too much money to qualify for the public defender. So I'm not gonna appoint the public defender at this time,
Yes, sir.
although you've already got the public defender in 2 cases that you're currently out on bond on, or out on release. Okay, let's take a look. All right, I'll appoint the public defender in the new case. So you've been arrested on a charge of criminal mischief and resisting an officer without violence. Okay. All right, in the new case, the bonds, the criminal mischief bond set at $500, the resisting bond set at $500. State what's your position on the out on bonds?
See,
Your Honor, we would ask that he be revoked and either set at a new, I don't have the amounts on it, but we would ask that he be revoked and given a bond on the possession of cocaine and possibly revoked and given a higher bond on the DUI.
Defense?
Your Honor, Mr. Earl just wanted the court to know that he is gainfully employed. He is scheduled to work tomorrow. He respectfully requests that the bonds not be affected on the other cases.
All right, on the out on bonds, I'm gonna revoke the ROR on the possession of cocaine. I'll set a bond at $1,000. I'm gonna revoke the bond on the DUI, and I'll set a bond of $1,000. Good afternoon, ma'am. Your name, please?
Ruth Felix.
All right, Ms. Felix, you're here for initial appearance. You've been arrested for loitering or prowling and resisting an officer without violence.
Yes.
I'll appoint the public defender. Bonds are set at $500 on each count. I'm going to order that you not return to the property Longhorn Steakhouse on Oak Ridge Road.
I may, Judge?
Yes.
An offer was extended by the state on this case. I did have an opportunity to talk to Ms. Felix about it. Again, my understanding is it would be as to count 1, the loitering and prowling and adjudication, time served, court costs, fines, fees, and as the court already mentioned, no return to Longhorn. And as to count 2, a withhold credit time served. Did you want to go ahead and take those and close this out today, or did you want to fight this case? Your Honor, at this time, she does not want to take the plea.
All right, ma'am. So you've got the $500 bond on each count with the order not to return to the scene. Okay. Good luck.
Your Honor, Ruiz Victor has bonded.
Thank you. Good afternoon, ma'am. Your name, please? What's your name, please?
Tanisha West.
Ms. West, you're here for initial appearance. You were arrested on a warrant out of Seminole County on a charge of failing to appear for your violation of probation. The judge set a bond at $2,500. If you're able to post a bond, you can bond out here in Orange County, and you'll be given a court date to go back to Seminole. If you can't bond out, they'll notify Seminole County that you're here. They'll come get you within 24 hours. Okay? Good luck. Good afternoon, sir. Your name, please?
Timothy Comden.
Sir, you're here for initial appearance. You were arrested for battery. It's domestic related. You've indicated on your application for the public defender that your take-home is $900 a week?
Yes, sir, about that.
Okay, then you make too much?
Give or take, depends on, I get paid by the day,
Okay,
so that's on a good week.
okay. If with no dependents, that's too much to qualify for the public defender, so I won't appoint the public defender at this point. State, you have a position on bond?
The state's just asking for a reasonable bond to be set. My paperwork indicates he does not qualify for PTR.
He does
Okay.
not.
Yeah, just reasonable bond.
Okay. All right, I'll set the bond at $500. I'm gonna order that you have no contact with the victim, that you maintain a separate residence, that you consume no alcohol or illegal drugs while this matter's pending. Okay, good luck. Good afternoon, ma'am. Your name, please?
Caroline?
And what, you're Caroline Gay? Yes. Okay. Ms. Gay, you're here for initial appearance. You were arrested for a petty theft. I'll appoint the public defender to represent you. You got a bond of $250, and I'm going to order that you not return to that Walmart on South Goldenrod Road. Okay, good luck.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, Hunter refused. And I would like to suspend. We're going to reset him to tomorrow.
Morrell Ricky is currently on psych ops, mental health, Your Honor.
Okay. Then on, let's. On Ricky Morrell, I'll appoint the public defender, and I'll stay the bond at $500.
And he was out on bond, Your Honor?
And I'll take no action on the out on bond. On the trespass, will be ordered no return to the scene.
Yana Osayman Ramos,
Yes.
he's also psych ops, mental health right now, sir.
Okay. So I'll appoint the public defender, stay the bond at $500, order no return to the scene.
Yana Corey Trammell refused.
Okay, on Mr. Trammell, this is a on-view violation. Okay.
He did.
All right, I'm gonna, let's see. Okay. Yeah, I'll set the bond at none. I'll appoint the public defender on Trammell.
Yana
Did he
Keaton
get another
Walton.
case? Trammell?
I'm sorry, say it again?
Does he not have another case? Or did you address that yesterday? Let me double check. Maybe it was addressed yesterday.
There was a possession of cannabis with intent to sell or
Yeah.
deliver, possession of more than 20 grams, and possession of drug paraphernalia. But we don't have that paperwork.
Okay. I'm trying to pull up yesterday's notes.
Did he?
That's what I have.
So he's also in on that case.
So, yeah, so let's reset both of them.
Reset them?
Yeah.
For tomorrow? Okay.
You're supposed to know that. You're supposed to know that automatically. Do we have a case number?
Yes.
On the other,
It's,
the new law?
It's 2022 CF 011692 AO. And then you're resetting for tomorrow, right, Your Honor?
Yeah, we'll reset the new law and the on-view for tomorrow.
Yana Keaton Walton refused.
reset him one more time to tomorrow.
And last but not least, Robert Coding, refused.
I had one, I'll give you the inmate number, 2202-3669.
Bonded.
Bonded, okay.
Your Honor, I was looking forward to hearing someone pronounce that name.
And you said the Golding, or
Robert?
last name Robert, he refused?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I'll appoint the public defender and state the bond at $150. Oh, let's see, you know what? Yeah, 250 is the bond.
If I could put something on the record, Judge, please?
Yes.
The state did make an offer to me of adjudication, credit time served, court cost fees, and fines. I would request if you consider leaving that open, Madam Prosecutor.
We'll reset him to tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
On the chance that he wants to come.
What a fool.
I can't promise tomorrow the prosecutor will
Sure.
miss
No,
me.
that, I'm assuming there's notes to effect, though?
I'll have notes for it.
Thank you. Can I do a refusal, Judge? If I do that, like when I come in on Saturday, everything just gets pushed to next week, and I don't have to deal with it?
Here's that stack of face sheets.
They're gonna love